I need help. I need a damn towel. Help! Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie and today we're going to be talking about underrated beauty products. I've filmed this intro 78 times. So I have a lot of products to talk about today. I have at least one thing in every single category and it is mostly makeup with a couple beauty tools. So let's start off with moisturizer. This is the Estee Edit Pore Vanishing Moisturizer and this is a matte moisturizer plus primer. And it's absolutely amazing. It's $38 so it's extremely spendy. You only get 1 fluid ounce, which I guess is kind of typical. I mean, at least for Sephora moisturizers, but I absolutely love this. I have used this as a moisturizer and primer and it works amazing. I use it underneath the Dermacol foundation, which usually makes me super greasy, and I was matte for almost 8 freaking hours. I did a review on that. If you want to go check it out, I'll link it up here in the cards, but it's absolutely amazing. It definitely controls your oils. I wouldn't say that it really blurs your pores that much, so if you're looking for something to vanish your pores, this is not it. If you're looking for something to keep you matte though, a matte moisturizer or even a matte primer, I would totally recommend this. You have the money, definitely splurge and get it. There is a VIB sale coming up at Sephora, which I think is going to be 15% off, and maybe that's the time to pick this up. I am testing out a bunch of matte moisturizers and matte primers to see if I can find something that is much more affordable that's going to work. Hopefully I'll find something that is just as good, but right now I am loving this. It's totally underrated, and I guess that's pretty much all I can say about it. So let's move on to the next thing. So this next thing is the Bare Minerals Blemish Remedy Mattifying Prep Gel. And I've been using this for a little while. I really like this. I have used it as a primer. I don't remember if I used it over top of that moisturizer or not, but I used this on one half of my face and not the other so I could really see if it did the job or not. And it did. It did keep me matte. I don't think it kept me as matte as this did by itself, but this is like $20 or $22. It's much more affordable and you get 1 fluid ounce as well. The matte wear time is half on this than it is on this, but I mean, it's almost half the price. So if you're looking for a good matte primer, I would recommend this. So another primer that we have, this is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick. If you've been watching me since I started my channel, which was literally a couple months ago, you know I'm obsessed with this. It's been in multiple videos that I've done and it's just amazing. This is not going to keep you matte, but it's very hydrating. So for dry skin, I would recommend this. But even if you have oily skin, you're gonna like this too. It really smooths my skin out. It hydrates, but doesn't leave like a gross, greasy film. When you first start to apply this to the skin, it does feel like very wet and you're thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be extremely slimy. It's clear. The stick is actually blue inside of it. Once you start rubbing it in, it just totally blends into the skin and it leaves like a very smooth, pretty like matte feeling finish, but it's not going to dry your skin out. I have used this on dry patches and I actually apply extra on dry patches, and it is amazing at like hydrating those spots and getting rid of any of the flaky look they have. So I totally recommend it for all skin types. I haven't been able to find it online anywhere yet, and I think it's only available in Walmart's. The next thing that we're going to talk about is a foundation, and I've used this quite a bit on my channel. I did actually do a video on this. It was my full coverage long lasting makeup routine, and I will link that up in the cards if you want to check it out. But this is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation, and this is actually the older packaging. The newer packaging is in the same bottle, but it's different. The writing is different. I think it just says e.l.f. on the front and then the ingredients are on the back. I don't know, but the formula doesn't seem different. The shade seems like it's a little darker, and that is one thing that sucks about this is the shade range, but if you can find your shade, it is so worth the money. It's only $6 and it is full coverage. I'm wearing it today, but I look like crap. I am using some other new products and they are not working with me. But anyways, totally love this. It is just absolutely amazing. It's literally one of my holy grail products. Okay, so the next product that we're going to talk about is a concealer. This is actually a pot concealer and it is the Catrice Cosmetics Camouflage Cream. And I have the shade Ivory, which I think is the lightest shade. I don't think they have a great shade range. I use this in my Catrice Full Face One Brand tutorial. If you want to check that out, I'll put it in the cards over here. This is very full coverage. I actually already swatched some on my hand, but it dries down to a nice matte finish. I use this on my acne scarring, and even when I have breakouts, which if you have acne or breakouts, you know that you eventually get like dry, like flakes of skin on your breakouts. So anyways, I use this over top of my breakouts and it did not cling to any of those areas. It actually felt hydrating. So it looks like the next product we're going to be talking about is a loose powder, and I have 2 loose powders to talk about today, and both of these are new discoveries in the past like month and a half. They are my freaking holy grails. This is amazing. This is the Cinema Secrets Ultra Lucent Setting Powder. This fills in all your pores, all of your fine lines, all of your deep set wrinkles. Like, I use a wet or a damp sponge when I apply this. You're like literally watching it fill in your pores, fill in your lines. Like, it makes your face
Makes the face look so smooth.
It makes your face look so smooth. I am like in awe about this freaking product. I got this on Sephora's website and it's actually only $22 and you get 17 grams, which is 0.60 ounces. I will say this does not necessarily keep me matte. It does not control my oils like this next one that I'm going to mention. But when it comes to filling in the pores, oh my gosh, it fills in your pores and your fine lines like crazy. So if you're looking for something like that, get this. It's so damn good. Like, I just can't get over how good it is, you guys. It's my favorite. So the other loose powder that I have is by Ilia, and this is their Soft Focus Finishing Powder. And I'm pretty sure this is the only shade that they have, but this powder is so good at keeping you matte. And it sets the face beautifully. It is colorless. I do think that this is going to be great for any skin type. I have been suffering with a lot of dryness because I have so many breakouts on my freaking face. It's crazy. So I have lots of like just flaky, tiny texture and all kinds of stuff. And this does not emphasize it. It does not fill in your pores and your lines like this powder does. This is extremely finely milled. Okay, I just poured it all over the floor.
Freaking idiot!
And it does have some smoothing properties for sure because it is so finely milled, but just not like this one does. This one is much more spendy. Like, I think it might even be like $38, but this keeps me matte like no other powder I've used. Even the Laura Mercier. There is a scent to this. It's kind of strong. It's like, it kind of reminds me of baby powder, and this one doesn't really have a scent. Let's see. I think we'll go ahead and talk about my contour products, which I have 3. So the first one is the Morphe 9C contour palette. Well, it's just the 9C palette. I love these shades for setting under my eyes. It does not look powdery or heavy or cakey under my eyes, and I do have dry under eyes. I can't bake with loose powder under my eyes. Like, they will look way too crepey. I have too many fine lines there. So I will just go in with this, or all 3 of these shades, with a damp sponge to set my under eyes, and it just really helps to brighten the area. Doesn't look dry, like I said. It doesn't emphasize my fine lines under there at all. And these shades are really nice for contouring. I don't ever use these 2 shades. This is kind of like a highlight, which if you have a deeper skin you could use, but it is going to be more of like a natural highlight. If you're looking for a good contour palette that isn't going to break your bank, totally recommend this or one of the other ones that I'm going to mention. The packaging feels really cheap, but who cares? It's like $20. So the next one that I'm going to talk about, I'm sure you guys are like, oh my god, we're sick of hearing about it, Cassie, because it's been in numerous videos of mine, but I had to mention it because it is very underrated. No one freaking talks about this either. And this is the Aesthetica Contour Palette. Y'all, this is beat the hell up. Like, I'm not kidding, it is so beat up. My daughter got into this the other day, which was like traumatizing for me because this is my favorite contour palette that I have ever used in my entire life. And I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, which I have compared the 2 of them. I'll link that. Oh my gosh. Luckily, you can order the individual pans that go in this palette. Like, you can see that they do remove, so that's really nice, and they're super affordable. I think it's like $7 for a refillable pan, and this entire palette is only 20 bucks. And they have a light to medium one and a tan to dark one. So they'll have one for any skin tone, and like I said, I compared it to the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and these are creamier. I think they're more pigmented. They blend better. I just like them so much more. And the last contour palette that we're going to talk about, which is dirty because I just got powder everywhere, is the Fiona Styles Sheer Sculpting Palette, and I just used this, I think, in my last video, which was my full face of first impressions. This is absolutely amazing. It's much smaller than you think it's going to be, honestly. It's like the size of my palm almost. Formula of these powders is definitely sheer. It's called the Sheer Sculpting Palette. So if you are a beginner, this is going to be a really great one for you. This shade looks so light. It is the perfect shade for contouring. Like, it straight up looks like a shadow, which is the whole point of contouring. You want your contour to look like a shadow. I use these 2 to go on and kind of like bronze my skin. You want to see how they apply to the skin and what they look like, just check out my last video. I'll put it up in the cards over here, and you can see how it performs. So let's go right into bronzer. This is the Covergirl True Blend Bronzer, and I believe this is the only shade that they have, which is kind of, you know, a downfall with this product because, you know, this color may not work for everyone. The formula feels so good. It has a very slight golden sheen. Like, if you have pretty deep skin, you honestly could maybe use this as a highlighter. Don't be afraid of that sheen because it doesn't show up like super like shiny on the skin. I did want to compare it to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. Now the color of these two things is not the same, but the formula feels very similar. This actually kicks up more powder than the Covergirl does, but they both feel very smooth to the touch, and they both give similar looks on the skin. Now this is the Covergirl and this is the Hourglass. So obviously the shades, you're getting a much lighter bronzing shade in the Hourglass, but it's freaking like $60 unless you get the little one, which is like $24, which is what I have. But they both give a beautiful sheen. They both bronze up the skin, but I find that the Covergirl one is not as orange as this one is, and I actually like the formula in the Covergirl better because it does not have glitter particles in it like the freaking Hourglass one does. Okay, I do have two blushes to talk about here, and they are both affordable. The first one is the L'Oreal Paris Visible Lift Color Lift Blush, and this is in the shade Berry Lift. Now, the price is the one thing that kind of might turn you off on this. For Drugstore, it is $11 for this, and that is a little spendy. I accidentally dug my fingernail in this, as you can see a couple times, but the formula on these is exactly the same as the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows, I think they're called. It's like a gel feeling formula, but it's a powder. Like, I apply this with a powder brush. It's a great blush for a beginner. The color is absolutely beautiful. They have a pretty good shade range, and it just looks really beautiful on the skin. This is definitely like a more satin blush. The next blush that I have to talk about is much more affordable. This is like $3 or $4 or $5, and this is the Essence Satin Touch Blush. I have become so obsessed with this. It's so stunning. There's only 2 shades in this line, so they need to really expand their line. If they did, I would buy so many other colors. This is like a more mauve-y, like rosy one. It's called Satin Love. And their other one is like a more coral shade. It kind of feels dry when you swatch it, but it doesn't kick up a whole ton of powder. It does have a satin finish, just like the other one does. Maybe I'll swatch them next to each other because one of them is obviously more berry. So this is the L'Oreal one, and this is the Essence one. So the next thing we'll talk about is highlighters, and I did just recently do a best highlighters under $20 video. I'll put it up in the cards over here. I didn't want to include any of the highlighters that I already talked about in that video. The first one that we'll talk about is the Gerard Cosmetics Star Powder, and this is in the shade Grace. I love the packaging. It's really pretty. It's just a shiny gold. You get a mirror, and then it's kind of like a cushion foundation where you get this little thing, that's really descriptive. Helps protect your highlighter. The formula on these is just so smooth. These just give you the most intense freaking glow of your life. They do have some other shades, so they're gonna have a shade for every skin tone. I know there is a coupon code for like 30 or 40% off of your purchase, and you're gonna wanna use that because these retail for $36, which is way too much. I will find you one, and I'll put it down below in the description with the link. The next highlighter that I'm gonna talk about is actually a highlighting palette. You get 4 different shades, and this is the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Holy Glow Volume 1, and I think they did do a Volume 2 on this, and yes, as you can see, one of them was shattered when it got to me. So you get a white shade, as you can see, like pure white. You get a orangey shade, a like more yellow base shade, and then a bronzy shade. And I usually use obviously the 2 lightest ones, which is this yellow base one and then the little bit of what's left in the white one. This company is not based out of the US. I don't remember where they're from, but I'll have everything linked down below for you guys. These are the shades. Because they are outside of the US, I'm assuming that's why it came shattered. It had a long trip, and you know, the mailmen are just not careful with our makeup packages, so I don't blame the company on that. Okay, so the next products that I'm going to be talking about are eyeshadows, and I have 2 palettes here. They're both from Ulta. The quality is unfreaking real. Like, I can't believe people are not raving about these eyeshadows because they are great quality. So this is obviously the Matte Neutrals one, and I feel like I say obviously in my videos a lot. I'm really sorry about that. They feel
So creamy, so buttery.
like these feel like expensive high-end shadows. They blend really well. I think I use this in my full face of all Ulta brand makeup. I'll put that in the cards up here. I swatched all of the palettes that Ulta sells when I was in store, and they are all the same quality. They do kick up a little bit of powder, but who freaking cares? They perform just fine. The next product that I want to talk to you guys about is the Coastal Scents Hot Pots, and these are so freaking underrated. These are so affordable. They're literally $2 per shadow, and these are just the ones that I have. I did just do a video on these comparing them to the MAC shadow, and I did dupe a couple of them, and I'll put that in the cards over here if you want to check it out. I did a look. I did one eye with MAC and one eye with Coastal Scents, so you can see just how amazing they are. And actually in that video there were a couple that were like worlds better than the MAC. Like this formula, the color payoff and everything was better in the Coastal Scents than the MAC ones. The MAC ones are not worth it to me. This was one of the ones I think I compared to a MAC one in that video, and it is so fucking it's so freaking beautiful. I don't know, I mean, in real life I say that word on the regular, but it's probably not appropriate on YouTube. So this color right here is so stunning. One right here is absolutely insanely, how many words can I use? How many adjectives can I use? It's just really pigmented. It feels so like, girlfriend, I barely touched that shadow. It's so good. If you want me to do a video on all of my Coastal Scent shadows, I definitely can do that. Seriously, like on the freaking verge of a breakdown. I'm just happy that none of those shattered. And this palette is the Divina Cosmetics Custom Pro palette, which actually, this is also underrated. Let's just talk about it because it's right here. I absolutely love this palette. I was just looking for something that would hold a shit ton of shadows, and this is the one that I found that had the best reviews. I love these shadows. I will have the link down below for them, and it is an affiliate link. I am a part of their affiliate program, so I want to go ahead and let you know that if you click that link and purchase something, I will get a very tiny commission. Like, I'm talking very tiny. If you don't feel comfortable with that, that's fine. Pretty sure it's coastalscents.com. You can Google it, but otherwise, just use the link I have below. I don't know what the big deal is with affiliate links. Like, it's not, you're not losing any of your money, so just, you know, it's up to you if you want to use it or not, but I'm going to throw that out there. They have a ton of colors. Like, their shade range is insane. So staying with the eyes, I have some mascaras, or no, actually I have one mascara that I want to talk about. And this is the Wet n Wild two-step system. I honestly don't remember what it's called, but I mean, I'll have the exact name and the link and everything that you need down below. This is a two-step system where you get a primer slash mascara and fibers. And this is just like, I mean, it seems like just regular black mascara. This is the wand, and you would apply this to your bare lashes, or sometimes I've even put primer on, like lash primer on, and then this. I mean, you can do that if you want, but you put this on first, and then you go in with your fibers, and these are white fibers, which, I mean, most of the like fiber systems that I've used are white fibers. It does not bother me. This is so amazing. Like, this, oh my gosh, it is mind-boggling how good it is. If you have short lashes, you need this in your life. Two eyebrow products that I have. One is the Fiona Styles Micro Precision Brow Sculpting Pencil. This is so good. It is my favorite. I think she only has like 4 shades, which kind of sucks, but this is the shade Brown Ash. I'm trying to find a place. And it's like, I don't know, are you gonna say something, Cassie? Hello, crickets. It's not too overly creamy to where you like can't control the product, and it's also not too dry that it doesn't disperse the product good enough. Like, I seriously did not used to be able to put my eyebrows on after my foundation and powder and everything was done. I usually have to do my eyebrows first because it seems like every eyebrow pencil that I've tried just does not apply well over top of foundation and powders. But this one applies so easily. I can do my brows really quickly. Best brow pencil I've ever tried, I think. But I think it's better than the Anastasia Brow Wiz. But like I said, I haven't tried it in a long time, so I don't know. I'm not, maybe I shouldn't say that yet, but it's just so good. Another one that's really good is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I just recently tried that in my last video, and that is so good too. I don't know why I didn't include that in this video. That one is a little more affordable than this one. Okay, another brow product is the L'Oreal Stylist Brow Plumper, and I mean, I might as well not even show you this, guys, because my writing is all worn off. I love this brow gel. It is a little warm, but in combination with this brow pencil, because it is too cool, so I really like using this over top of it because it's more warm, so it kind of just like evens it out, and it just really matches my hair amazing. This is seriously going to make your brows stay in place. Like, it is so good. It doesn't make them feel crunchy or disgusting or heavy. Oh, I have a lot of lip products. So I first want to mention the lip liner by Real Her, and I did get this in a BoxyCharm, you guys. I'm pretty sure the shade is called I Am Unstoppable, and I have the matching color lipstick that I also wanted to include in this video, and I just used this in my last video as well. This packaging is so freaking cute. This shade is called I Will Succeed, which, how cute is that? I did mention mentioned in my last video when I used it in my first impressions that if you layer it, it will get sticky. Like I put it on, it dries really quickly, it dries down fully matte, but I went back in again after it had already set and kind of just like applied a little bit more on the outer edges of my lips, and the outer edges of my lips kind of stayed sticky throughout the day, but I mean, it didn't really bother me that much, honestly. It lasted a pretty good amount of time. I mean, I wasn't eating and drinking a whole bunch, but it lasted like 6 hours. I'm obsessed with the packaging, and the lip liner, which I was talking about first, is really, really good. It is really nice and creamy. It applies really well. That's the swatch. I'll go ahead and do it again. Like, I'm barely pressing down. The story, I think, behind this brand is that a little girl's dad created this brand pretty much for his daughter, but just for women in general, I think, to encourage them to feel beautiful. So like all the names are like just very encouraging and like uplifting. Like this one obviously is I Am Unstoppable. The liquid lipstick is I Will Succeed. So the only two products that I've tried by them, but I am going to be trying some other stuff in the future. I know they have some eyeshadow palettes too, and then some regular lipsticks that I really want to try, but I just love that. And they also donate 20% of all proceeds for every product sold to charity, which I think is so freaking awesome. One thing to mention though about this lip liner, this is a very matte lip liner. I'm going to tell you that right now. I used this and I wore it alone one day, and it did feel like it was drying my lips out. So that's one thing to keep in mind, but I wanted to mention it because if you're looking for a matte lip liner that is actually matte, that is going to be long lasting, but also is going to apply very creamy and easily, then you're gonna really like this. If I exfoliate my lips really well, then it maybe wouldn't bother me as much. I was kind of, you know, struggling with some chapped lips anyways that day. I mentioned lip exfoliators, so I wanted to go ahead and talk about this, and this is the e.l.f. lip exfoliator, and this is the clear one. They have a bunch of different scents and shades now. Look how beat and busted this is. This is so good, you guys. Like, I seriously will never spend a ton of money on a lip exfoliator in my life. I won't. The product itself is really good. It exfoliates the lips really well. It's so easy to use. Great for traveling. I just like that I don't have to stick my finger in a damn pot and rub it on. Like, this is just so easy. Like, I just go in, scrub the crap out of my lips, and my lips feel so nice and smooth after. I can't explain the smell. It doesn't have a very strong smell, and this tastes good. Like, I mean, I don't just freaking eat the tube, but obviously there's a little bit left over on your lips after you wipe them off, and it tastes pretty good, so that's always a plus. All right, so the next couple eyeliners that I'm going to talk about are very affordable. So this is the Catrice Ultimate Stay Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Holly Rosewood. This was also in my Catrice One brand tutorial. I think I used it in that video. And it's just really good. So here is it swatched. It feels so creamy. It applies so well. Like, the formula feels a lot, actually the formula in two of these feel very similar to the Kylie lip liners and her lip kits. So comfortable to wear, so easy to apply, so creamy, and I love it. It is really affordable. It's like $3 for this, and I really, really like it. The next lip liner that we're going to talk about is the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Bear to Comment. And this, yet again, is extremely creamy, like even creamier than the Catrice one. Okay, I have one to compare it to. This is a very expensive lip liner, and this is the Marc Jacobs Pout Liner Longwear Lip Pencil in the shade Primrose. And I'm going to swatch it next to it. The colors are very similar. So if you've been wanting to try the Marc Jacobs lip liners, don't even waste your money. They're really great. Like, they are so, so good. But the Wet n Wild gel liners are so similar. And I got this lip liner in a little influencer box. They sent it to me for free to review. I got it along with one of Marc Jacobs lip creams, which is his liquid lipstick. So I just wanted to let you know that I did get those for free. If you want to check Influencer out, I'll link it down below. It is a website where you can get free product to review, and you do not have to be a YouTuber, you do not have to be a blogger or anything like that. This next and last lip liner that I have is by Jordana, and this is the Easy Liner for Lips, and it's in the shade Rockin' Rose, and it's retractable, which I really like. And this is what it looks like. This is so nice and creamy too. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Not as creamy as the Wet n Wild. Why are these swatches so ugly? It's not as creamy as the Wet n Wild and the Marc Jacobs one, but it is very creamy. It's more similar to the Catrice one. I mean, they're still creamy, but if I'm comparing them, The Wet n Wild one is still creamier, but they are so damn good. So, and I think this might be the most affordable one. It was like $2 or something. Okay, so the next two lip products are so good. These are both liquid lipsticks from the drugstore. This one is by L'Oreal, and I don't know exactly what this is called, but I'll have it linked down below, the name and everything. So on one end you get the liquid lipstick, and on the other is like a little balm that you apply over top of it. These are just so good. I don't even want to wear liquid lipsticks anymore. I just always reach for these because they're amazing. They are so long wearing, so they're really nice and pigmented. And what you do is you just apply them, and I usually do wait and let it dry, and it does dry down matte. I mean, you probably could wear these on their own, but I usually don't. This shade is Never Ending Nutmeg. This is like one of their more nude colors, and this is like my favorite lipstick. The idea is that that balm is supposed to seal the lip color, and it does. These are very long wearing. The next one that I'm going to mention is much more long wearing. It's pretty much the same idea. It has a balm like this one does. And they're so comfortable. I mean, at first when you first put the balm on, obviously it looks like pretty glossy, but within, I don't know, like 20 minutes, your lips are matte and they are mostly transfer proof. I mean, it does transfer a little bit, but it doesn't like completely remove the color off of your lips. So comfortable. This next one is, oh my gosh. Okay, this one is more long wearing than the L'Oreal one. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24 color liquid lipstick. I don't know, that's all it says, Superstay 24 color. And I have the shade Keep Up the Flame, and I actually got this in an influencer box as well, and I had another color, but I think I gave it to one of my friends. So this is a red. Look at that. You saw that pigment. And you also, same thing, you get a balm on the other end. I wore this one night and it lasted all night long. It was transferring just a little bit, but I mean, it never looked like it had transferred. Like, all the color stayed on my lips all night long, and my lips never felt dry. And you can keep reapplying the balm. Every time I'm going out and I'm going to wear lipstick and I want it to last, I choose one of these. Usually this one because it's nude, but if I want a red lip, then I wear this one. And they have a pretty good shade range. Okay, so we have two more products left to talk about, and this is the Aesthetica Beauty Sponge, which I'll have linked down below. I use this in my long-lasting full coverage makeup routine. So before I got this, I had been using the Real Techniques one, and that was pretty much the only one that I tried besides the L'Oreal one, which I hated, and now I love it. And then I got this, and it is my favorite. It is so, so good. The only thing that I don't like about it is it takes a really long time to wring out all of the soap from it once you wash it. It's worth it to me though, because I love how this applies and blends everything out. So yeah, it's my favorite, and it gets quite large when you wet it as well. So the last thing that I have is by e.l.f., and this is their Shiny Eraser Oil Blotting Sheets. And I did a little mini video on my Instagram, which I always have my social media linked down below if you're interested in following me. I have my Snapchat down there and everything. I did, like I said, do a video on this where I showed you what half of my face looked like after I had been blotted with these, and what half looked like not being blotted, which was like hella oily and gross. But these are so good. You get, how many do you get in here? You get 50 sheets in this thing, and it is a damn $1. It's $1. If you are spending $30 on oil blotting sheets, girl, you lost your damn mind. Because I ain't spending no $30. I am serious. I will never spend a ton of money on blotting sheets because these are so, so good. And I'm looking a hot, oily mess. Excuse my glasses lines. Since I'm oily right now, let's just go ahead and demonstrate, all right? I always try to use the entire sheet too. Like, some people will just like use part of it and then they'll be done. I'm like, what the hell you doing wasting all that money? Girl, you just throwing money in the drain. So that is one side blotted and the other side not. This is the one that I used to blot, and this is the one that I have not used yet. Ew, you can see it! I am a hot oily mess if you haven't realized that. So let's just go ahead and do the forehead. But it's crazy though, in that video that I did on my Instagram, it's just a really short one. You can literally see the line. Like maybe you can see it right now because I can see it in the mirror. So these are so good. No one be talking about these. Why ain't nobody talking about these? They're so good and they're so affordable. So don't break your bank. If you're looking for blotting sheets, buy the e.l.f. ones for $1. So that is going to complete this video, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and what you thought of them. These are, a lot of these, like some of these are my holy grails, you guys. Holy grails. I really want my channel to be focused on just trying products that no one is talking about, bringing them out from underneath the rug they've been shoved under and give them the spotlight that they need. You know? They need the spotlight. So, alright, I'm going to stop being weird. I'm going to stop blabbering. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button if you want to be notified every time I post a video. I do upload at least 3 times a week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I can't believe that I hit 100 subscribers the other day. I was like dying. So, thank you guys so much for your support. Make sure that you go follow me on social media, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.